All right, let's dive in. Today, we're cracking open the latest updates from Salesforce's Winter 26 Revenue Cloud release. We're going to break down all the key features, and more importantly, talk about what they actually mean for your business in the real world. Let's get to it.
So, let's be real for a second. Selling things today is getting complicated fast. We're not just doing one-and-done deals anymore, right? We're juggling subscriptions, usage-based pricing, super complex multi-year contracts, and if your systems can't keep up with all that, well, you're not just leaving money on the table, you're making life miserable for your sales team and your customers.
And that's exactly the problem Salesforce Revenue Cloud is built to solve. Think of it as the one single platform that handles that entire quote-to-cash journey, from the very first step of building a quote all the way through pricing, billing, and finally, getting paid. It's a system that's truly built for today's complexity. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the big challenge, just taming all this revenue complexity. Then, we'll look at how new tools are giving us a smarter way to sell. After that, we'll see how you can build more agile operations on the back end. And finally, we'll put it all together to see what this automated revenue future really looks like.
Okay, first up, let's look at the big picture. Taming that revenue complexity. You know, this release isn't just some random grab bag of new features. It's a really thoughtful response to the massive shift in how we're all doing business these days.
And here's the bottom line. We've moved way beyond simple one-time sales. The deals we're making now are really long-term partnerships, and they change and evolve over time. That means you need a platform that isn't just a static database. You need an intelligent, flexible, and automated engine that can manage that entire relationship.
So, how exactly does this release give us a smarter way to sell? Well, it all starts by giving sales reps the tools they need to cut through the noise and close deals faster and with way more accuracy. It's all about turning those administrative headaches into real strategic advantages.
We've all seen this happen. Your sales rep is on a call, they're trying to build a quote, and they're just stuck, endlessly scrolling through a huge product catalog. The release notes really hit the nail on the head here. It's overwhelming. And that friction? It doesn't just waste time, it completely kills the momentum of a deal. The solution is this really cool shift to something called dynamic facets. Okay, think about when you're shopping on a modern website. You search for running shoes, and it automatically shows you smart filters like brand or terrain, not useless stuff. That's exactly what dynamic facets do for your sales reps. They only show the relevant options, cutting out all the clutter and guiding them right to the perfect choice.
And it goes way beyond just the smart filters. We're also getting product detail caching, which means key products are going to load instantly. For companies working globally, product info can now be automatically translated. And reps can see product rules in real time, to stop them from accidentally quoting two things that just don't work together. It's all about making things faster and way more accurate.
All right, so your rep found the right products. Awesome. But now for the real headache. Trying to structure a complex 3-year deal where the customer wants to add more licenses in year 2, maybe get a different discount in year 3, trying to manage all that manually? It's not just tedious, it's a recipe for disaster.
And this is where ramp deals for groups comes in. And seriously, this is a total game changer. Reps can now group products into segments like year 1 and year 2. They can tweak the products, the quantities, the discounts for each of those periods. And the best part? Get this. A change in 1 year can automatically flow through to all the future years. No more copy-pasting and just hoping you got it right. It all rolls up into one clean asset. And to help wrangle all that complexity we just talked about, reps can now organize their quotes with up to 5 levels of nested groups. That gives them an incredible amount of control to structure even the biggest, most detailed quotes in a way that just makes sense. It makes it easier for the rep, and more importantly, way easier for the customer to understand and sign off on.
Okay, so we've armed the sales team with some amazing new tools. But let's shift gears, because a super fast sales process doesn't mean a thing if your back office is stuck in the mud trying to handle pricing, fulfillment, and billing. This section is all about building operations that can actually keep up.
There's a quote in the release notes that just perfectly captures the spirit here. In today's economy, your pricing can't be set in stone. This release lets you automatically apply price uplifts tied to something like the Consumer Price Index when a contract renews. So your revenue keeps pace with the market, and nobody has to remember to do it manually.
And speaking of smarter pricing, there's this new thing called delta pricing that delivers a massive performance boost. Here's how to think about it. Imagine you've got a quote with 1,000 lines. In the old world, if you changed just one tiny discount, the system would have to reprice everything.
With delta pricing, it only recalculates the specific things you changed. It's the difference between waiting minutes and waiting seconds.
Now, once the deal is closed, the work is far from over. You've got to manage all the customer's assets, what they own, when it renews, how it changes. And this release brings some absolutely fantastic updates here, all focused on automation to cut down on manual work and risk.
So let's run through the highlights. You can now easily transfer assets between accounts, which is a lifesaver in an M&A situation. You can automatically get all a customer's subscriptions to end on the same date to make renewals way simpler. We already talked about the automated price uplifts, and my personal favorite, a simple rollback last transaction button. We've all been there. Someone makes a mistake. Now you've got an undo button. That's huge.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important piece of the operations puzzle, actually getting paid. The Winter 26 release gives customers a brand new self-service billing portal. And honestly, this is a massive win-win for both your customers and your finance team.
I mean, the benefits here are just crystal clear. Your customers can now log in, see their invoices, download them, and pay them right there online. This means fewer support calls asking, "Hey, where's my invoice?" And the bottom line? It helps you get paid faster, which is great for cash flow.
So let's tie all of this together and take a look at the future of automated revenue. Because all these individual features are powerful on their own, but it's their combined impact that really signals a huge shift in how businesses can manage their entire revenue lifecycle.
When you boil it all down, all these updates really lead to 4 big benefits. You get faster, more accurate selling, which frees up your reps to build relationships instead of fighting with their computer. You build truly agile operations with automated asset management. You deliver a much better customer experience with self-service tools, and you get simpler compliance because all your data is accurate and automated from start to finish.
And this brings us to the final and most crucial question. These tools really are a major leap forward in automating the entire quote-to-cash process. So the question isn't just about what's new in Salesforce. It's about whether your business is ready to actually use this level of automation to revolutionize its own revenue operations.